In mid-November 1966, two young couples in a small town in West Virginia saw a terrifying creature in the local woods and fled. The story of the creature was soon published in the local newspaper, and within a day or two, the entire town arrived at the reported location armed and ready to hunt it down. The people who live in the West Virginia town of Point Pleasant have access to a landscape that a French explorer from the 1600s claimed for France, and a creature that walks on two legs, looks like a human, and has glowing eyes like a moth. It goes without saying that the latter of these local treasures is extraordinary. We've got more of these stories coming your way. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so you never miss out. So, there are a few different theories floating around about Mothman's origins. Some folks say that on November 15, 1966, this mysterious creature emerged from the depths of hell, while others think it might have come from outer space. But it all began in Clendenin, West Virginia. Gravediggers who were working in a cemetery were the first people to notice the strange figure of what appeared to be a man perched in the trees above them. When the creature showed up, it set off a chain of events that, in the end, caused panic to spread through the town. A few days later, two young couples from Point Pleasant named Roger and Linda Scarberry, as well as Steve and Mary Millette, spotted the creature while they were driving along a state route close to a power plant. The menacing figure was between 6 and 7 feet tall, and its enormous bloodshot eyes shone brightly in the headlight's spotlight. Roger, who was driving, started to freak out, and he sped off in the direction of the town. However, this did not seem to faze the creature in any way. Eyewitnesses reported that it rose up like a helicopter and glided effortlessly behind a car, even though the car was traveling at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. The creature's appearance caused commotion in the town, and many people didn't know what to make of what was going on. The curious people in the town didn't want to form an angry mob, so they got hunting rifles instead and went out to find out what was going on. The creature evaded capture for several nights, during which time the town's inhabitants were under a growing amount of stress. Everyone was on edge as a result of the strange events that surrounded the appearance of the creature, and no one knew what would happen next. In the days after local newspapers reported it, similar sightings of a mysterious creature were reported by other people. Two volunteer firemen who witnessed the creature described it as a large bird with red eyes. Mason County Sheriff George Johnson, on the other hand, suggested that the sightings were probably due to a simple large bird, like an owl, heron, or even a sandhill crane. The sandhill crane, for instance, is a bird that can stand as high as a man and has a wingspan of more than 7 feet. It also has large circles of bare, reddish flesh around its eyes, which might explain both the creature's size and the red eyes. But the crane was not usually seen in the area during the sightings timeframe. In addition to this, the couples who reported seeing the creature mentioned the fact that the eyes of the beast only appeared to glow red when their lights were directed at it. Perhaps the theory that the red eyes were merely the consequence of the red eye effect, which is a common side effect of using flash photography. It is said that this mysterious creature is to blame for a number of strange sightings and events that have taken place in Point Pleasant and the areas surrounding it. According to the various written reports, the Mothman was notorious for following cars, luring people into their homes, and even stealing their dogs. Many people were under the impression that the Mothman inhabited an old nuclear power plant in the area, and that this was likely the result of a covert experiment conducted by the government. However, the sightings abruptly ceased in December 1967 after a horrific tragedy struck Point Pleasant. The Silver Bridge, which carried U.S. Route 35 over the Ohio River, collapsed during rush hour traffic, killing 46 people. Prior to the accident, there were reports of the Mothman pointing towards the bridge. Some saw no connection between the disaster and the alleged sighting, while others thought the Mothman was a bringer of doom. Even though it was later found that the collapse was caused by a problem with the suspension chain, conspiracy theories about the Mothman kept going around. In 1975, author John Keel wrote a book called The Mothman Prophecies, which suggested that the sightings were warnings of the impending bridge collapse. The book was later adapted into a 2002 movie starring Richard Gere and Laura Linney, bringing the spooky legend of the Mothman to a wider audience. It's also possible that this Mothman didn't exist at all. When people started believing in the creature, they may have fallen prey to several cognitive errors that reinforced their beliefs. Our brains are constantly attempting to make sense of the world around us, but they occasionally make errors. These mistakes can happen for many reasons, like when we don't have all the information we need, or when our emotions are clouding our judgment. When these mistakes happen, they can lead to cognitive errors. There are many types of cognitive errors. For example, Deputy Millard Halstead found footprints and a dust cloud that could have been made by a bird, but these were put down to the creature even though there wasn't any direct proof. Confirmation bias also played a role. This is when we only seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs and ignore information that contradicts them. People dismissed the most likely explanation, which is a sandhill crane, because it wasn't native to the region. They associated any strange occurrences with the creature due to its memorable sightings. With a population of only 4,000 people, according to the 2010 census, the tiny town of Point Pleasant was ripe for a folktale like the Mothman. The residents all knew one another, including the Scarberries and Mollets, whose sightings of the creature added credence to the legend. The town's belief in the Mothman grew stronger as word spread and strange occurrences were blamed on the creature. The mysterious entity that plagued the skies over Point Pleasant in the mid-1960s remains a mystery to this day, with no conclusive evidence to identify its true nature. But the Mothman came back in 2019 when someone in Chicago said they saw a flying creature that looked like the Mothman. Some believe that the Mothman has relocated to Chicago, while others believe that there are multiple Mothmen in our midst. Do you believe in the Mothman's existence, or do you think it's just a figment of people's imaginations? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The town of Point Pleasant, on the other hand, has fully embraced its most famous resident and has become a popular destination for dark tourism. In 2002, they held the first annual Mothman Festival, and in 2003, they put up a 12-foot metal statue of the creature. In 2005, the Mothman Museum and Research Center also opened its doors. Visitors can learn about the anomalous being and buy unique Mothman souvenirs, crafts, and pastries at the museum, shops, and cafes in downtown Point Pleasant. Did you know that the Tower of London has a pretty dark past? If you're interested in the dark history of the tower, be sure to check out our video on it. You can find a link to the video in the description box below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content. Thank you for watching.